Hey there, and welcome, you beautiful drama-loving people, to your weekly dose of the most outrageous headlines and scandalous stories that have the world buzzing. We're here to dive deep, to pull back the curtain, and to dissect the moments that make you lean in and say, wait, what just happened? And trust me, folks, today we've got a story so hot, so explosive, it practically set the tennis court on fire. We're talking about a classic tale of rivalry tension and a post-match handshake that was anything but sportsmanlike. So buckle up, because we're about to transport you to the hallowed grounds of the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. The atmosphere is electric, the crowd is roaring, the stakes are sky high. And in the center of it all, we have two formidable forces, two titans of the sport, about to clash in a battle of not just skill, but of wills. On one side, we have the fiery, the unpredictable, the one and only Jelena Ostapenko, the 2017 French Open champion, known for her blistering ground strokes, her relentless aggression, and let's be honest, her on-court demeanor that's as intense as her forehand. She's a force of nature, a player who plays with her heart on her sleeve and who doesn't shy away from confrontation. And on the other side, we have a player who, in this specific match, was dressed for the occasion in a way that, in retrospect, was almost prophetic. We're talking about Taylor Townsend. The American star, a fan favorite, known for her powerful lefty serve and a game built on pure athleticism and raw power. But here's the thing about Taylor Townsend in this match. Her outfit, it wasn't just a regular tennis dress. It was a statement. It was a vibrant, fiery ensemble, adorned with what looked like literal flames. A stylish choice, a bold choice. But little did she know, those flames were about to become a very real, very tangible part of the post-match narrative. Now, let's set the scene. This wasn't a final. This wasn't some epic championship showdown. This was the second round of the US Open. A crucial match, no doubt, but one that you typically expect to end with a respectful handshake and a quick wave to the crowd. Oh, but you'd be wrong. So very, very wrong. The match itself was a nail-biter, a roller coaster of emotions. There were powerful rallies, incredible saves, and moments of sheer brilliance from both players. Ostapenko, with her signature flat, aggressive shots, was pushing Townsend to her limits. Every point was a battle. Every game was a war. The crowd was on the edge of their seats, and you could feel the tension building with every single shot. But Townsend, fueled by the home crowd and a seemingly unstoppable determination, was holding her own. She was returning Ostapenko's fire with her own brand of controlled aggression. It was a masterful display of tennis, a testament to the talent of both of these athletes. The match eventually went to a deciding third set, and as the final games ticked by, the pressure became almost unbearable. Both players were visibly exhausted, but their competitive spirit refused to wane. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Taylor Townsend, the American underdog in this specific matchup, secured the win. A huge victory. The crowd erupted. Cheers, applause, and a sense of relief washed over the stadium. The camera panned to Townsend, a look of pure triumph on her face. A moment of victory well earned. But then everything changed. The traditional post-match ritual. The walk to the net. The handshake. It's a moment of sportsmanship, a symbol of respect between two competitors who just gave it their all. But this was not your typical handshake. No, this was a moment so tense, so charged, it will be talked about for years to come. As the two players approached each other, you could feel the energy shift. The polite applause from the crowd seemed to fade into a collective gasp. Jelena Ostapenko, known for her fiery nature, walked to the net with a scowl on her face. There was no smile, no look of a gracious loser, just a cold, hard stare. And as she approached Taylor Townsend, she didn't just give a quick handshake. Oh no, she engaged. What happened next was a verbal exchange. A very public, very raw spat that was captured by the cameras and instantly went viral. The words were difficult to make out at first, but the body language was undeniable. Ostapenko was gesturing. Townsend was reacting. The whole exchange lasted only a few seconds, but in those few seconds, a million stories were told. The video footage from that moment is captivating, in a train wreck kind of way. You can see Townsend, a triumphant smile still on her face, leaning in, a look of genuine confusion crossing her features. And you can see Ostapenko, her face a mask of anger, a furious look in her eyes as she speaks. It wasn't a polite chat about the match. It was a confrontation. And then the audio was enhanced. And the words, the incredibly telling, drama-filled words came to light. According to multiple reports and lip readers, the core of the confrontation was a comment from Ostapenko to Townsend, and then Townsend's powerful, unforgettable response. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of what was allegedly said. Ostapenko was reportedly upset about something that happened during the match. It could have been anything, a line call, a grunt, a towel break. We don't know the exact trigger, but the anger was palpable. And in that moment, she apparently said something to Townsend that was disrespectful, something that challenged Townsend's sportsmanship. And that's when Taylor Townsend, a player who had just fought for 3 grueling sets and emerged victorious, delivered a line that will forever be etched in the annals of tennis lore. She looked her opponent straight in the eye and said with a quiet but firm dignity, "I expect respect." Think about that for a second. I expect respect, not a screaming match, not a rebuttal, just a simple, powerful, and incredibly composed statement of self-worth. It was the perfect response. It wasn't about winning or losing anymore. It was about principle. It was about demanding the basic level of decency and respect that every athlete deserves. The moment was so intense, so unexpected, that it immediately became the biggest talking point of the tournament. The match itself, a truly fantastic sporting event, was overshadowed by this single fiery handshake. The internet exploded. Social media was flooded with clips of the moment. Pundits and fans weighed in. Was Ostapenko in the wrong? Absolutely. Said most. Was Townsend's response epic? Undeniably. But this isn't just a story about a post-match spat. This is a story about the culture of sports. It's a story about the unwritten rules of competition. It's a story about what happens when the pressure cooker of professional sports boils over and the raw, unfiltered emotions of 2 athletes spill out for the entire world to see. And it brings up a fascinating question. How much emotion is too much emotion in sports? Jelena Ostapenko is known for her fiery temperament. It's part of her identity as a player. It's what makes her so captivating to watch. Her passion is undeniable. But where is the line between passion and poor sportsmanship? When does that fire cross into disrespect? And on the other side, you have Taylor Townsend's response, which has been widely praised as a masterclass in composure. She didn't stoop to her opponent's level. She didn't engage in a verbal joust. She simply stated her expectation. I expect respect. It was a moment of true class, a display of strength that went beyond the physical battle on the court. It showed that she was not just a great player, but a person of principle. The aftermath of this incident was just as interesting. The press conferences, the social media comments, the ripple effect across the tennis world. Every sports show, every podcast, every news outlet was talking about it. This wasn't just a tennis story, it was a human story. A story about conflict, about respect, and about the sometimes ugly side of fierce competition. And that's why we bring you stories like this, because they are more than just headlines. They are windows into the human condition. They are moments of high drama that reveal the true character of the people involved. They remind us that even at the highest levels of sport, when the stakes are at their absolute peak, the simple fundamental rules of human decency still matter. So the next time you hear about a post-match handshake, a quick exchange at the net, remember this story. Remember the flames on Taylor Townsend's outfit that mirrored the fire between her and her opponent. Remember the rage of Jelena Ostapenko and the quiet dignity of Taylor Townsend's response. Because in those few fleeting seconds, we were given a glimpse into a drama more compelling than any scripted show. A real-life rivalry, a clash of personalities, and a moment that will forever be a part of tennis history. And on that note, we're going to wrap things up for today. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the most scandalous headlines. We'll be back next week with more stories that will have you saying, wait, what just happened? Until then, stay curious, stay dramatic, and remember to always expect respect.